This is finding the equation when you're given the roots. So this can be asked in two different ways. So they could ask you, they could give you a graph like the one I just have here, and they could say find the equation of that graph. Or they might say to you, find the equation if the roots are -2, and we can tell by the graph that the roots are -2 because it's right across the x-axis, and 2. So they could give it to you like visually or just in words. So you need to be able to understand and compete both. So the first thing I want to recap with you before we start find the equation when we give the roots is, what if they gave us the equation, how would we find the roots? So if they gave us this equation, we know it's an x squared x in number, so we're going to open up our brackets. Our factors of 2 are going to be 2 and 1. Inside they give us 2x, outside they give us 1x, and we want a minus 1x, so we know this is going to be minus and our 1 is going to be plus. These are our factors, right? And then we find our roots by getting x minus 2 equals 0, x equals 2, and x plus 1 equals 0, x equals minus 1. So there are our roots, okay? So what I'm trying to show you from this is, when we're finding the equation, when we're given the roots, technically what we're doing is we're working backwards. We're working from getting our roots to getting our factors to then finding our equation. Okay, so for example, if they had told us the roots of an equation were x equals 2 and x equals minus 1, like over here, we know that if we work backwards, the equation, or if they ask us to find this equation, we know its equation will be x squared minus x minus 2 equals 0. Okay, so just to go, so that's just kind of showing you what we're doing and then how we do it. Okay, so they tell us, so we're going to use the graph. So they tell us to find the roots, or find the equation of this graph. Okay, so we know x is equal to minus 2, so we write x equals minus 2, and we know x is equal to 2. These are our roots, okay? So, like I said, we're used to going from equation to factors to roots. Now we're going to go roots to factors to equation. So I need to write this as a factor. So to write this one as a factor, I bring back over my minus 2, so it becomes plus 2. Just in the exact same way, if you just look over here, that's exactly what happened. It went x is minus 2, so down here became x is equal to 2. So this one here will become x minus 2. And we let it equal to 0. So our roots have now become factors. So now we have a bracket on a bracket. So we're going to have split our bracket. So we have x squared minus 2x plus 2x minus 4 equals 0. So we'll have x squared minus 4 equals 0. So that's our equation of this, not of this graph yet, but that's our equation. Okay, because the minus 2 and the plus 2x cancelled. The only thing that you have to be aware of here, you know that this is a quadratic graph by looking at it, so everyone should know it's quadratic. It's n-shaped, meaning it's negative, meaning the x squared must be negative. So in our answer here, our x squared wasn't negative, so we have to make it negative. So if we change the sign of that one, it means we change the sign of this one. So in this case, our equation of our graph was minus x squared plus 4 equals 0. Had that sum been like this, then the x squared minus 4 would have been perfect. Okay, so we look at this graph down here. So our roots of this graph, we know it's a positive graph, so this time it's okay, the x squared will be positive. So we won't have to change it. So our roots of this graph is x equals 2 and x equals 6. So make our roots factors. So we'd have x minus 2, x minus 6. Let it equal to 0. Okay, so we've bracket on a bracket, so we split our bracket. So we'll have x squared minus 6x minus 2x plus 12 equals 0. So we have x squared minus 8x plus 12 equals 0. And that is the equation of this graph. As we said, it's U-shaped, therefore the x squared was positive, which it was in this case. And what you should be noting as well, see the 12 here, the plus 12, so the plus c, that will always be where it cuts the y-axis. Just to recap on that, you should know that anyway. And that's it. So just to be aware, they could just say to you, find the roots of the equation, or find the equation when the roots are 2 and 6. The exact same question as what we've done here. We've just seen it visually. So roots are 2 and 6. That's x equals 2, x equals 6, and then go about finding your factors in the equation.